This is probably the biggest fight of the year so far. Of course, I'm talking about Takeru versus Rodtang. This is such a highly anticipated fight. I just had to talk about this. Of course, it's been a while since I've done a preview show. Well, the reason why I will tell you at the end of this video. First, I want to talk about this mega fight, Rodtang versus Takeru. Before I tell you my opinion, my prediction on this fight, I want to tell a little story. You know, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of kickboxing, and I've been following kickboxing since I think maybe over 20 years now. I mean, well, a long time. That's my point. So when I was young, I'd never been to a kickboxing show. Of course, I grew up with K1. So when I got a little bit older, I was like, you know what? I want to go travel around the world. And I was, you know what? Let's go to Japan. And when I went to Japan, I went to a K1 event. Fuck, I'm at a K1 event, so fucking awesome. What? And now you might think that I'm going to say that I saw Takeru fight. Unfortunately, I didn't. I saw awesome fighters like, for example, Yoshiki Takai. I saw Yasuhiro Kido. I saw Tetsuya Yamato. And it was a big event because this was the return of the heavyweight Grand Prix with Antonio Plazibot coming on top. You know, it was really an awesome event. I even actually met some of these guys who were fighting on this card. For example, like Roel Manhart. But the thing is, my point of this story is that this event took place in the Super Saitama Arena, which was an awesome place to, you know, witness some incredible kickboxing. And this fight, Takeru versus Rodtang, is going to take place in the Super Saitama Arena. So I got a little bit of a personal, you know, history with that, a little bit of a nostalgia going into for me. But of course, you guys are here not just for my stories. You guys want to know what I think of this fight. This fight card is awesome. If you only watch Glory and you're not really watching jkick or, you know, ONE Championship or maybe a Rise or K1, well, you're not getting all kickboxing. You know, there's so many incredible fights taking place in the east side of the world, especially Japan. It's awesome there. They have so many incredible fights. And this event is taking place in Japan, which means if you ever want to, you know, just want to take a peek in what is jkick, what is Japanese kickboxing, this event is for you. You gotta watch this. This card also has some familiar names if you have watched Glory. Marat Grigorian, former Glory lightweight champion, is fighting on this card. He's fighting against former Glory lightweight title challenger, Kaito Ono. So without further ado, let's talk about the card itself. Of course, headlined by Rodtang and Takeru, it's a highly anticipated fight. If we look at the history between these guys, you know, when Takeru was signed with ONE Championship in 2023, you know, a lot of people wanted to see him fight against Rodtang because both guys are known for their aggressiveness, never shy away to, you know, get into a fist fight, you know, sometimes getting hurt themselves, getting down even, but they always stand up and they always go for the knockout. And that makes them both very spectacular. Anyway, so when he got signed, Rodtang actually wanted to fight with Takeru. Takeru wanted to fight against Rodtang as well. So before that fight could happen, Rodtang had a fight scheduled against Superleg. So when they were fighting each other, Takeru attended that fight and he was hoping that Rodtang would win that fight. But he didn't. Rodtang lost that fight. But this fight is something that so many people wanted to see that they actually still booked the fight for, if I'm correct, 165. Anyway, the fight was booked, but unfortunately Rodtang got injured. So what happened is they flew in Superleg, who of course defeated Rodtang prior. And when this fight was made, a lot of people were like, you know, Superleg is really good, but Takeru should have this. But nothing could be further from the truth. Takeru got defeated pretty decisively, injured very bad, broke his knee. I think he broke his leg as well. It wasn't a really nice sight for his leg and for fans to, you know, who were really rooting for Takeru. And so what that meant is both fighters now have a loss against Superleg. So a lot of people hope that, you know, after these guys both lost against Superleg, you know what, just book this fight again. Just book Takeru against Rodtang. Didn't happen because Takeru was just so injured that he had to recover for a long time. In the meantime, Rodtang took a fight up. He won that fight. Eventually, Takeru got healed up. He had a fight against Tianjin. He knocked him out, which, you know, for him was very important to get back in the winning column, you know, show everybody that he still's got it. And Rodtang won another fight as well. So all signs were there to make this fight. And now finally, we're going to see Rodtang versus Takeru at Sunday, 23 of March in the Super Saitama Arena. And I'm so incredibly hyped. I can't tell you enough how much I want you guys to see this fight, because this is like, I do not want to compare this with, Badr Hari and Rico Verhoeven, or maybe even Takeru against Tenshin. It does come close. Long story short, big fight, and I can't wait what will happen. But before I will do my predictions, like always, I start at the bottom of the fight card and will work my way up until the main card. For this fight card, because this is a very mixed fight card, there are some kickboxing fights, there are MMA fights, there are Muay Thai fights. I will only focus on the kickboxing part. And if I missed a fight that you were like, dude, you really should talk about this, let me know in the comments. So let's talk briefly about Hiroki Akimoto versus John Lineker, a clash between a Japanese kickboxer and a Brazilian MMA specialist. So this fight is on kickboxing rules. So for me, I will immediately, pick the kickboxer over a MMA fighter. Of course, he is the former champion in ONE Championship at 65 kg. So he's a force to be reckoned with. But first of all, I want to say I'm so happy that he's back, because he hasn't fought a lot in the last couple of years, because, he lost his title against Pechtatong. And after that, he actually got, sidelined for about 1.5 years. And I was like, how can you do this? Because this is one of the most, he's one of the most talented fighters at this weight, but he doesn't get enough time to shine. Of course, ONE Championship is very notorious for, giving fighters not a lot of fights. That's also a reason why I have been very critical about ONE Championship. Of course, I've said it before, I think they view kickboxing more as a side project than a real main focus, which is a shame, because they have some top contenders in their organization. But, Hiroki Akimoto is coming back. He has 3 losses in a row, but his last loss came at the hands of Ilias Enahachi, one of the biggest prospects in the game as well. Gotta say that a lot of people felt that Hiroki should have won this fight. So I don't want to say it was a robbery, but it was very close, and I'll let you guys to be the judge of who would have won in your opinion. But the thing is, I think the fight between Akimoto and Lineker, I think Akimoto is going to win this, and after this, what will happen? I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about the fight between Akimoto and Lineker. I think Akimoto will win this fight. Let's talk about Marat Grigorian versus Kaito Ono. I didn't see this fight coming, but this is such a welcome surprise. I mean, both guys are one of the best at 70 kg. Marat Grigorian is the former K1 and the former Glory lightweight champion. And Kaito Ono, he's making a name for himself, defeating Glory veterans left and right. He even defeated former Glory champion David Curia. He defeated Garrick Billet. He's been doing very well in the world. And this fight feels a little bit like the young generation versus, a veteran. Let's call him the old guard. This could be a passing of the torch kind of fight. I don't want to say that immediately, because Marat Grigorian is still, a very good fighter. He's been defeating people, legends, big fighters left and right. But the thing is, he has been fairly inconsistent in his last 6 outings. Winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, So this is going to be a very interesting fight, because we're gonna know if Kaito is really the next generation who is ready for the top, and maybe Marat Grigorian is over his prime, or is Marat Grigorian still, in his prime, and can he still hang with the best of the world? As mentioned, Kaito has a 5-fight winning streak, which is awesome, few knockouts. Marat Grigorian, as mentioned, inconsistent, but won his last fight by knockout against Abdelali Zahidi. If you look at both styles, there's a big difference between styles. Marat Grigorian has a very much a Dutch style kickboxing, combination, boxing combination, ending with a low kick, sometimes going up with a high kick. And if you look at Kaito, he combines as well, but he uses his knees a lot more. He has some knee knockouts, and he has some very precise Japanese style low kicks. Both guys have heart. Both guys are, always coming to knock each other out. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. A very difficult fight to predict. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, because who do I think will win this fight? This is a fight that's so hard to predict. Of course, you guys are coming here watching this video for me to make a prediction, so I have to do a prediction, but it's very, very difficult. But if you look at both guys, you can't deny that Marat Grigorian is one of the biggest fighters around. I have been biased before where I was like, I think Kaito is going to defeat Tijani Bistari, when in reality, he lost and he couldn't get any offense through. So I actually hyped a lot of my friends up for Kaito and then he lost. So it feels wrong to say that Kaito is going to win this fight, but I feel like Kaito could do this. I wouldn't say it would be an upset, but I would say if he manages to defeat Marat Grigorian, that would be a very big accomplishment. And maybe it is a little bit of an upset, but if we look at how inconsistent Grigorian has been and how successful Kaito has been, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Kaito. We'll see what happens. Alright, another highly anticipated fight because Tawanchai is coming back in kickboxing. The Thai star, he is the current ONE Championship featherweight Muay Thai champion, and he's facing off against a former K1 champion. Of course, we're talking about Masaaki Noiri. He's one of my favorite kickboxers out there. He hasn't been doing that great in his last couple of fights, but I think still, style-wise, he is one of the most aesthetically pleasing fighters out there. So I can't wait for this fight, man. For those who don't know who these guys are, let's talk about Tawanchai first. He's a Muay Thai stylist. He has been, been regarded as one of the top prospects in the game for a long time now. He has made his transition to kickboxing prior against, I think it was Joe Nuttawood. It wasn't the most best performance ever, but he got the win, and now he's riding a 9-fight win streak. Most of them are Muay Thai. So the thing is, I usually, watch all the fights and make a prediction based on that, but I honestly do not watch a lot of Muay Thai. I'm a real kickboxing purist, so but I have seen a few of his fights. Of course, I saw a few kickboxing fights against, for example, also against David Kiria, where he broke David Kiria's arm with his strong kicks. I saw a few Muay Thai fights in preparation of this fight card because I had to watch a few fights just to make an accurate, prediction. But the thing is, he hasn't fought in kickboxing for the last 1.5 years. So the thing is, a lot of people think kickboxing and Muay Thai are the same, but it's totally different. The game is completely different for different reasons, because in ONE Championship, you fight with small gloves, which basically MMA gloves, which is a big difference from the regular kickboxing or boxing gloves. It's so different. But if we look at his style, he's very explosive. He is a kick-heavy fighter. Watching his fights, you can see he can box, but that's not his strongest suit. What he's good at is counter kicking. That's the way he broke the arm of David Kiria. He doesn't like to get into a brawl. Of course, he went to a little bit of a brawl against Superban, but that was in Muay Thai. For close-up, you can use elbows, you can use knees, you can use the clinch. It's a different game compared to kickboxing. So he's now facing a pure kickboxer in Masaaki Noiri. Masaaki Noiri is known for being a fighter who wants to come close and pick you apart with combinations to the body, using knees to the ribs. He even holds you tight, makes a jumping knee on your face. He can use a high kick from a close distance, but when he's on range, he uses his teeps very well. He is such a complete kickboxer, it's almost strange that he lost 2 of his last 3 fights. Noiri has been regarded as one of the big kickboxing prospects in the world, but he, for some reason, although he has been the former K1 champion, but for some reason he still hasn't broken into, in global recognition, in my opinion. Of course, we follow everything kickboxing, so we know who Masaaki Noiri is. But for those who do not watch kickboxing a lot, for those who only watch Glory, watch Masaaki Noiri do some beautiful combinations this weekend. I highly recommend you watching his K1 highlights. But let's take a look at his ONE Championship career. He fought 3 times, losing 2, winning 1. The first fight was against former champion, former Glory champion, Sittichai Sitsongpinong. I thought he would win this fight because Sittichai is already, in his later stage of his career, but Sittichai got the job done, and I was kind of surprised, but he had a very great performance, and Noiri lost fair and square. After his first loss, he got a fight against Liu Mengyang, and honestly, it was very evident that this guy was brought in to lose against Noiri, but nothing could be further from the truth because Masaaki Noiri got got knocked down in the fight and eventually lost the rounds. And again, another loss on his record, but he got a very quick turnaround. He got his opportunity, I think within 1 month, to fight against Shakir Al-Takridi, if I pronounce it correctly. When he fought this fight, he was, you know, the Masaaki Noiri we all know and love. And he eventually won this fight by leg kick knockout. And he didn't just kick the legs underneath him, he broke his leg. He literally destroyed the leg of his opponent with low kicks, which was awesome to see because that is one of the staple kicks in kickboxing. He's back in the win column, is facing one of the, you know, top contenders, top prospects in the division out there. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. I want to say it's prospect versus prospect, but the thing is, Noiri has been around for a long time. I mean, he used to fight in the old K1. He even fought in Glory. He fought in different organizations. I think he's about 31 now, which is insane for me because when I started watching him fight, I think he was only 70 years young, so crazy. Tawanchai, 25, big prospect. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight because, again, styles make fights. Japan versus Thailand, karate, kickboxing versus Muay Thai. Interesting. So let's do a prediction. As mentioned, Tawanchai is a Muay Thai specialist. This style is counter-kicking, playing the kicking game, you know, try to keep your opponent on the distance, and when he comes close, just smash that leg into his forearms. And he's very good at it. If he can manage to get Noiri on the outside, I think he could be getting this victory. But the thing is, Masaaki Noiri is a guy who wants to come inside and knee the hell out of you and combine shots in, you know, combining is his thing. So I think if Masaaki Noiri manages to get close and get his combinations up, I think he will get the job done. Very difficult prediction to make. Again, another difficult one, but you know, I kind of want Masaaki Noiri to win because he's been one of the best kickboxers ever without, you know, without the global recognition as he deserved. But honestly, if we look at the talent that Tawanchai is, I think Tawanchai will probably pull this off. But I wouldn't be surprised if Masaaki Noiri would win this fight. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. I am going to talk about Rodtang versus Takeru. One of the most interesting clashes out there. You know, the thing is, these guys are so different, but at the same time, they both have so many similarities. Let's talk about the differences first. Takeru, he is a kickboxing specialist. Rodtang is a Muay Thai specialist. And if we talk about Muay Thai, the opposite of Muay Thai most of the time is karate. And of course, the background of Takeru is karate. The fight between the natural-born crusher and the Iron Man. Let's talk about Takeru first. Takeru, of course, he is the former K1 featherweight, K1 super featherweight, and the K1 bantamweight champion and Grand Prix champion in all those classes as well. He is such a big talent and such an entertaining fighter that if you type in entertaining kickboxer in ChatGPT or Google, I promise you, you will find Takeru. He is one of the most coolest fighter out there. He's awesome. When he fights, you know there's gonna be spectacle. There's something happening. Before he left K1, he had a massive fight against Tenshin Nasukawa in a fight called The Match, one of the best viewed kickboxing events in the history of kickboxing. You know, I think there were like 55,000 people in the arena at the time, and the pay-per-views were insane. Very impressive for a kickboxing bout, and he was part of that fight. Unfortunately, he lost the fight against Tenshin. But after that, he got a new challenge because he got signed with ONE Championship. As mentioned in my introduction, he got a rough start in ONE Championship, but eventually he got the W, and now he's here and he's going to fight against Rodtang, a highly anticipated fight. He's facing Rodtang, the former ONE Championship Muay Thai champion, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. So why is this fight so interesting? Both have different styles, but there are so many similarities. Let's start with differences, because Takeru is a kickboxer with a karate background, while Rodtang is a Muay Thai specialist. But the similarities are very interesting because both guys are so aggressive. They want to fight. They come up close and they will stand and bang, will go in the pocket, do everything, you know, to make it a spectacle fight. Both like showboating. They're always taunting their opponents, and they are so crazy that when they get hit, they even smile. So expect in this fight both guys to get hit and smile at each other, eating shots. Talking about that, I saw some footage of Rodtang in training, you know, getting hit in the face and just standing there like, hit me. And to be honest, for me, I wouldn't do that. That would be speedrunning for CTE. Not my preferred first strategy. If we look at the fight itself, what will happen? Of course, what will happen is both guys will be going into it for the kill. They will be hitting each other as hard as they can. They will be going into a brawl. There's a difference in both guys. Takeru is a knockout fighter where Rodtang is not. What I'm trying to say with this is I wouldn't use getting hit in the face as a strategy against Takeru, because he hits like a truck. Let's use the fight between Takeru and Superlag as an example. Superlag had a great strategy going into that fight. He wanted to put Takeru on the distance, hurt his legs, and not engage in a brawl. And that worked. In the third round, you saw that Takeru came in close, came into the pocket, and he went all out, hitting left, right, body head, low kicks, whatever. And that's where Takeru feels comfortable. And you saw in Superlag, like, this is not the place where I want to be in. And he tried to, turn away and put him on a distance again. Eventually that worked and he got the victory. And I think it's a bad strategy for Rodtang to, get into a brawl, because I feel like if you go into a brawl with Takeru, I think 9 out of 10 times Takeru will be on top. So I would not advise Rodtang to engage in a brawl. But the thing is, he can be a little bit reckless sometimes in his fights, which is, I think, the biggest weakness of him going into this fight. So that's actually the reason why I think Takeru is going to win this fight. Rodtang is a young fighter, only 27, while Takeru is 33. He's got a lot more experience doing this kind of fighting game. And as mentioned, Takeru is a knockout fighter, while Rodtang is not. So that's why I think Takeru is going to win this fight, and probably, maybe not by knockout, but definitely by a few knockdowns. That's my prediction. So I can imagine that a lot of people are like, dude, what are you thinking? Rodtang is the future. I know he is the future. He's one of the biggest stars coming up in the scene. But to be honest, I think Takeru is just a little bit too savvy for this kind of fighting style. I think he's, he just has a lot more experience. I think that will be the key factor going into this fight. So what do you think? Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm crazy? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Who will win between Takeru and Rodtang? Whatever happens, it's going to be a spectacular fight. So going forward from this event, what will happen with kickboxing in ONE Championship? Of course, there's already one big fight announced, the trilogy fight between Region Eersel and Alexis Nicholas. It's a fight that I would like to see, but I think it's coming too soon. Long story short, it means that there aren't enough challengers for Region and for Alexis Nicholas. For me, that's proof that ONE Championship isn't really investing in kickboxing. They're investing in putting on big fights, which is awesome as well. But give these fighters some space to, fight outside of the organization, get some experience, and, give them the opportunity to fight more than only once a year. So what will happen from this point on for the fighters on this card? It's kind of difficult to, really predict. But I think if we look at least the winner between Tawanchai and Masaaki Noiri will probably get a title shot against champion Superban. But other than that, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Maybe if we look at Superlag and Takeru, maybe if the fight is so awesome, maybe they could do a rematch, because ONE Championship is known for doing a lot of rematches. Maybe a rematch against, for example, another fighter in Superlag, or maybe they could bring a new fighter into the organization, because there has been rumors that Yuki Yosa is going to be signed with ONE Championship. It could be interesting to put on a fight between Rodtang and Yuki Yosa. Not sure if that is happening, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. As mentioned in the beginning, it's been a while since I've done a preview show. Of course, you can see my hair has grown longer than the last time I made a video. But if you've been following me for a while now, then you might know that I've been renovating my house. It's been taking a long time to, to build something beautiful out of, basically, I don't want to say a rubble, but we had to do some work. So that took a lot of my time. But that's not the only reason that I haven't been able to, commit to a weekly podcast, a weekly video posting. The reason is, maybe it's better just to show you guys. I'm going to be a dad, and I'm not going to be just a dad. I'm going to be a dad of twins. So it's a ride. It's a ride. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous telling you guys this. I don't know why, but it's I'm so happy, we're so happy. And so this is the reason that I've been so incredibly busy, for the past couple of weeks, months. When we found out that we were expecting twins, my life got upside down. At first I was shocked. I was shocked. But then happiness came into my body and I felt so much joy. And so this probably won't come as a surprise that I probably won't be publishing content very consistently from now on. I mean, I haven't been doing consistent in the last couple of weeks, but I love kickboxing so much. I really want to, put my work into promoting the sport, spreading the beauty of kickboxing, because it's awesome. It's special. It's insane to me that this sport is still not as globally recognized as it, in my honest opinion, should be. And that's why the reason why I started this YouTube channel. Of course, it's originally started out as a voice-only podcast. It evolved into something completely different where I am talking to a camera. People, see me talking, see the way how happy I am when I talk about kickboxing, because I truly am happy when I can talk about this with you guys. You guys comment on my videos, which is awesome. I always love to engage in these conversations. I am, of course, part of the Beyond Kickboxing Discord, and there I talk with you guys as well. Social media, but things are going to be changing a little bit in the sense that I won't be as active as I have been for the last couple of years. But if you know me, then you probably know that I will be back in some way or form. How, I do not know. Maybe I will only do some specials. Maybe I will do some occasional preview shows. I'm still figuring that out. If you have some suggestions, let me know. But for now, I have other priorities and I have to, in the future, I will be having a family, which is insane to tell you guys in a camera. It's a crazy thought, but it's a thought I'm, really looking forward to. So I want to thank all of you for the support in the last couple of years, last couple of months, whenever you started following me. I want to make clear this is not the end. I will be taking a break, but I will be back. I will definitely be back. So please do not unsubscribe. I will be back, but I will be, taking a little bit of a backseat right now. And honestly, I still think I will be, active on social media and the Discord as well. So, if you like this video, please like the video. If you haven't been subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more content about kickboxing, you can watch my previous videos. For example, my last one, I talk about what is the future of kickboxing when Rico Verhoeven and Badr Hari inevitably retire. It's a video where I've worked a lot of months on. It's a big project and I'm quite happy with the results. So if you guys want to watch that video, please do. Let me know what you guys think. And for now, maybe I say that my break will start now, but there is a slight chance that I might be making a video where I preview the Glory Last Heavyweight Standing Tournament. But I don't want to make promises because I have made promises before and I broke them. I feel bad about that. I'm sorry about that. So maybe, a big maybe, I will be making a preview show for that. But for now, we'll see what happens. Again, thank you. Oh, this